Good day. My name is Tim Ferguson, and I would like to share a story that I shared with other friends of mine on New Year's Eve of this year. I was 14 years old attending a church event on New Year's Eve. Our local Baptist church had decided the best way to celebrate the coming new year would also be the safest: coffee and soft drinks, served along with the usual pretzels, chips, and sweets. Our church was a year old and did not have a building of its own, so the members rented a hall called the Odd Fellows Hall. That's correct, the Odd Fellows Hall, where a coffee social would be held to bring in the new year 1962. I remember sitting downstairs with 6 or 7 teenagers, talking mostly about sports and music, and keeping energized by glasses of Coke to match the caffeine of our parents upstairs. After a while, we found there were only so many ways to debate the merits of each team or which new singer was going to be the best and have a wonderful career. And so I began to look forward to the upcoming service at 11 o'clock. We were promised a short sermon with lots of singing and music, and that was fine for me. So we came upstairs, sang some Christmas carols, and then some old favorites. The 3-person choir of a soprano, alto, and a baritone sang 2 or 3 songs, and the pastor kept his promise. His sermon was less than 10 minutes. I looked at my watch and it read 11:55, 5 minutes to go. Our last hymn was announced and the organist began to play the introduction when we heard a knock on the door. The organist stopped. Then there was a second knock. Who was knocking on the door of the Odd Fellows Hall at 11:55 at night? One of the adults opened the door and in walked an African-American family. As they approached, the well-dressed gentleman was most apologetic. "I'm so sorry," he began. "My wife and I live in Brooklyn, and we left our home at 8 o'clock tonight, looking for a church, any church, which would be holding a service. We have traveled over 75 miles in our search. We saw churches, but they all were darkened. We wound our way through some areas without any residences. At 11:30, my wife said, 'You have made a wonderful effort, and our Lord knows you did. It's time to go home.' I knew she was right, but my heart said, 'Keep going.' It began to rain, and I had to drive even slower. A little while later, I looked down your street and I saw a light on. Somehow my heart said, this is where we should be." Our pastor said welcome and the couple took a seat. The organist played, we sang, and the pastor closed with a prayer. I looked at my watch. It was 2 minutes after 12. My mom and dad greeted the couple, as did other adults. Then the gentleman came to me, reached out his hand, and said, "Young man, God will bless you for being in his house this New Year's Eve." The couple left to return home. We never saw them again, but that night I did not fall asleep quickly. I could not believe this couple had traveled so many miles to find a worshiping church. All the churches along the way were closed, but our small group in the Odd Fellows Hall was open. And we were blessed by this example of faith and determination. Their determination and commitment to succeed is my memory, and such determination is not limited to January 1st of each year. I continue to relive hearing the knock on that door, even though their visit was many years ago. We never know the impact we have upon others we even meet for brief moments of time. Please take a moment to visit our website at lessonsforchristianyouth.com and learn more about others who cared and made a difference in our world. The website again, lessonsforchristianyouth.com. Thank you, and have a good day.